Defense Science Warrior God Saint J. Garcia Saturn is an actual demon. After reading One Piece chapter 1094, One Piece is about to show us why the figures sitting at the top of the world are the darkest creatures we have seen in One Piece yet. We get an amazing showcase of Sanji's observation haki and speed once again. In this chapter, as he rushes to save Bonnie, very reminiscent of when Garp used his immense speed to attack Pizarro. We get a new showcase of Bonnie's abilities yet again as she uses a technique called NDE, which is short for Near Death Experience. There's two ways you could interpret this ability. Either she ages the Marine up all the way till he's a skeleton and then quickly ages him back to where he's alive, or she makes the Marine hallucinate his own death, which either option traumatizes him, making him pass out. We see little old lady Vice Admiral Bluegrass use her crazy devil fruit, the Ride fruit, which allows her to hijack anything and drive anything as she wants, even overriding the authority chip commands of one pacifista. Luckily, Bonnie's knight in shining armor Sanji arrived at the last second to save Bonnie after she froze up looking at Kuma. The unnamed Vice Admiral, which Vice Admiral Chin, we just call him that, transforms into what looks to be an otter zone and uses an attack called Whack an Otter, which makes sense because he's wielding a giant clam and other otters use clams as tools in the real world. So Luffy and Kizaru are still going at it, and Kizaru tries to escape, but all of a sudden Kizaru, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, Usopp, Nami, Chopper and Vice Admiral Dole and the unnamed Vice Admiral, kind of looks like Oars a little bit, they all sense the ominous presence arriving on the island, and we see Saint Saturn. So Saint Saturn commands all the pacifista units to stop immediately, which I can imagine when this gets animated it's going to be an awesome scene because it just gave me chills reading it, like his voice was spreading out across the whole island. And this is when we get the big reveal of a demonic looking circle, and it appears with flames and what looks to be Conqueror's haki lightning coming out of it. The Marines that are Commodore rank and below are ordered to not look at Saint Saturn as he is arriving on the island. We can see a silhouette start to emerge from the star in the center of the circle, which looks like Saturn is actually being summoned, but by a ritual of sorts. A stupid Marine decides to look directly at Saturn and gets his head exploded by Saturn, and if you pay attention closely to this panel, Saturn has a gleam sound above his head, which could mean he's using a form of Conqueror's haki to blow off the Marine's head, and it might not be a part of his devil fruit or transformation, it might just be Saturn's actual power. So Saturn's form is very demonic. He has a black cloud ribbon like an awakened zone, same as Lucci and Kaku. He's very similar to a Japanese yokai that goes by the name of Ushi Oni. It has a spider's body with two horns on its head, but Saturn still retains his facial features, which could mean he's using his hybrid form. Back in chapter 1085 we actually saw Saturn's silhouette, and he had razor sharp teeth, which is probably his full zone form. He also has the devil fruit swirls on his spider legs, which is similar to Luffy in Gear 4 on his chest and arms, and in Snake Man he has this kind of the swirls coming off his bicep too. So honestly, I'm starting to think that Gear 4 was actually Luffy's hybrid awakening form, and then that Gear 5 is his full zone form and he's awakening. So that kind of makes sense, because when he's in Snake Man and Gear 4, you know, he can do all sorts of crazy things, like you have the Kong Organ attack in Gear 4, which he can literally multiply his arm. But anyway, we'll save that for another video. So Luffy uses a new attack called Gum Gum White Star Gun, which punches directly through Kizaru's head, and similar to when Luffy punched through Kaido's face, leaving Luffy at his limit, transforming into an old man. But same as when he fought Kaido and he transformed into an old man, he may be able to restart his heartbeat again to take on Saturn. Saturn immediately recognizes Nika as him and Kizaru fall out the sky. Luffy hits the ground. He's still in his Gear 5 form too, by the way, but Saturn is a monster who towers over everyone. Also, his cane grows to suit his size as well, which is a nice little bit of information there. But now in the last panel, Bonnie stabs Saint Saturn directly in the chest with a katana. And I've seen a lot of people saying, how could Bonnie manage to stab Saturn? Well, if Bonnie literally just transforms into an alternate version of herself where she is a master swordsman, allowing her to land a blow on Saturn, which obviously it didn't do any damage to him at all, but he just stares at her, like stares her down. But you can see on the side of the panel, two of Saturn's spider legs are raising up to grab Bonnie. And as stated in one of my previous videos, Sanji, a warrior of science, will go up against Saturn, the defense science warrior god, as this is a perfect setup, because if Saturn lays a finger on Bonnie, Sanji's just going to lose his shit and attack Saturn. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. If you could like, comment, sub, it'd be greatly appreciated, and I'm out. Peace.